Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome to Selenium Python training program. Today we are going to discuss about looping statements. Why these looping statements are required for us. Assume that your requirement is to print the numbers from 1 to 10. I have to give this print statement for 10 different lines. For suppose if your requirement is to print 100 or 1000 numbers, will you give this line for 1000 times? It's not a realistic one, right? So definitely we should have certain mechanism in place which I have to write for one time, but it should execute multiple times. There comes this loops comes into the picture. A loop is used for iterating over a set of statements repeatedly. A group of statements or set of statements or a single statement, in order to perform it repeatedly, we are using this looping statements. In Python, we have three different types of loops: for loop, while loop, and as well as a do while loop. So the syntax for the for loop is for variable in the sequence. So here, what I'm going to do right now means, let me switch back to my editor and I'm creating a new file, example 9. And here I'm defining a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have these many values are there in this list. We can call A as a list. A is a list which has 10 different values in that. So what exactly my requirement is, I want to print all the values in the list one after another. Assume that this is your requirement. You want to print the values in a list one after another. The syntax is for variable in. See here, if you observe the document in the sequence is a. Like this, you have to define this particular logic. Okay, so let me try defining this for, and the variable I'm defining it as in num in a, and here what I want to do means print num. Okay, I'm just printing num here. Now what exactly this num contains and all those things we'll see now. Let me run my test script now. Whenever I executed my test script, see here, all the values are got printed to the console starting from 1 to 10. How many values are there in a list? All the values got printed. So here what it is happening internally means, whatever the values are there in the list, it will be picking from 0th index, means from the first value, and storing it in num. So whenever we printed num, all the values in the list starting from the first till the last value got printed to the console. Okay, starting from first till the last value, it got a printed to the console. See here, I have defined it as a. So a means, the meaning out over here is rotate this for loop in all the values present in a list. For suppose if your requirement is to print only for 4 values, then what I can do out over here is, instead, so this is a one type of a for loop, and the next type of a for loop I am writing here is a for num in range of 3. So I'm defining it as a 3, print num. See this range, I'm defining it as a f5. Okay, I'm just ranging it as a 5. Now, when I run my example, see it is printing the range up to 5. If I range it as a 10, and when I run my example, see here, Up to 10, whatever the values are there, it's trying to print the values. Here, this range is nowhere related to here. In the range example, it's nowhere related to your list, as we have a given a number. Your for loop is considering that number, and it is printing all the values in that number range itself. And moreover, it is starting from 0th index, which will be the first value. But my requirement is I don't want to start from 0th index. I would like to start from second index. Okay, so I just want to start it from the second index. So in such situations, what I can do means, let me comment out this for loop and let me recreate a new for loop with a range again. See here, for num int range, start index is 2 comma 10, and here print num. Okay, print num. See here, I'm giving a 2 comma 10. Let me run my example. See, when it got executed this time, it started printing from 2 comma 10. See here, it started printing from 2 comma 10. Like that, it's going to apply. So here we can use a range method, and we can use a start index and as well as a stop index for that particular range. So this is the way how to create a for loop and how to customize a for loop depending on our needs. So in the real world, whenever you are working on your projects, we will be getting a list of data from a browser, and we are using a combination of a for loop and as well as a range methods in order to print all the values from the list. Okay, in order to print all the values from the list, we are using a combination of all these things. Okay, cool. So this is a simple example about a for loops. In the next session, we will see a brief examples on a while and as well as a do while loops. Thank you.